Hey guys, my name is Tibo, and today is the end of day 5. I believe day 5. Yes, it is day 5 of fasting. Just drinking water, no food. So how do I feel? I feel fine. I had the day off today. Uh, yeah, it was a little bit cold in the morning, but you see, sometimes I'm warm, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I wear too many layers. I went out today for about an hour just to get some or stock up on the San Pellegrino water and some mouthwash. Um, and yeah, it was a bit hot. It was a bit hot, and it was raining in Belfast all day. Still raining now. You might hear the sound of rain. So yeah, so something interesting which I forgot to do yesterday. A couple of days ago, I was recommended to look at each sentence, each line of the Lord's Prayer, and to meditate on each line. And yesterday I forgot, so I'm doing the first line today. And the first line is Our Father who art in heaven. So as I meditated, and first part I kind of heard this before from like David Pawson or something. It's a bit like a letter. You you write who it is addressed to. So our Father, this in that case, our Father, and then you have his address. So who art in heaven is in heaven. And I was thinking, as I was walking in Belfast, does that include his postcode? Ha ha ha. But then I got thinking, how does prayer work? Because this is a realm we don't actually see. It's something you have to have faith in. But what does the Bible say? And on one hand, I'm sure people would say, uh, God is all knowing, therefore, instantly he goes up to his mind of God. He knows it instantly. And that is not wrong, because after Jesus taught the Lord's Prayer, he says that, was it Matthew 8? I've got it written down somewhere. So he says this, um, be not ye therefore like unto them, that's the heathens, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. So before we ask, God knows our prayers, right? So I was thinking, on earth, when we send a letter, name, address, we send it. Then there's a few days of transit. Then the postman comes to our address, like it says on the letter, and sends it through the letterbox, or through the door, or whatever. Mailbox, if you're American. And voila, it's done. But God, he has his there's a certain procedure in God with God as well, because he has angels, right? Even though he knows our prayers before we even ask him, surely there's also a thing that's happening. And so I got thinking. Then I remembered, what does our prayers look like? Obviously, we don't, with our carnal eyes, we don't have prayers don't look like anything. But then I remembered a few weeks ago, or months maybe, I was reading the book of Revelation. So we put that there. And John said something, wrote something interesting. So just before the trumpets, he says, that's Revelation 8:3. So another angel came and stood at the altar, having golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of the saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints ascended up before God out of the angel's hands. And also in chapter 5, is it? I've got it written down on my laptop. And basically, it's right at the end of Revelation 5:8. So an angel has the golden vials or bowls full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. So odors, usually when there's a smell, there's a mist, there's some kind of incense, there's a smoke. So though we don't see it with our carnal eyes, there's something going on in the spiritual realm. Smoke ascends up when we pray. So that's how surely God receives our prayers, officially. It's a bit like you know in business or in legal matters, you could say something in words, but then something asks for its confirmation in writing. I'm using an earthly example here. We agree something with a provider or business, whatever, and then business-like people, legal-minded people, they ask, "Oh, can I have that in writing as well?" Because if that will is that order is fulfilled, then legally the customer would be able to sue the company because hey, it was agreed. I have it in writing. Something that's legally binding. My electric heater, because it's a bit colder when you fast. So that's what our prayers looks like. Smoke, it goes up to the heavens, high up in the atmosphere, right? Into the above the firmament. Hopefully, it gets that far. But then I was thinking of something else. I mean, thing is about incense. Throughout the Torah, throughout the Old Testament, we read those words many times in terms of sacrificing certain spices, or whatever, to make incenses before the altar. Now, of course, a lot of what the children of Israel built, Ark of Covenant, or whatever, the temple eventually, there's exactly the same equivalent in heaven. So it was an earthly representation of what is in heaven. And so if we interpret incenses for like our prayers, because that's how God receives our prayers, that's not to say God did not know what we need of before we prayed them, but that's how he receives them. Something more convicting for me is in Daniel, and that's really worth that. That is come on. Following is very interesting. Okay, so it's basically the context is Daniel is fasting and praying, and the angel Gabriel visits him. So of course, as typical, he's trembling, he's in fear. Angel comforts him, saying, "Fear not," blah blah blah. But that's what the angel says, okay, to Daniel. He says, "Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand." So the first day that you set your heart so you can understand or seek understanding, and to chasten thyself before thy God, or to humble yourself. So to humble yourself before your God, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. So Jew, this is what I'm seeing here. So as soon as Daniel's heart was right, okay, seeking understanding, and he humbled himself, which is what happens when you fast, because you're getting your flesh from things that it desires, which is food. But only once he did that, the angel says your words or your prayers were heard. Like, so it's a bit like God did not hear his prayers. And hearing, it kind of, well, it means two things really. Hearing means understand, and it also means obey, kind of Jewish um, thinking. Okay, um, hearing also means you will actually put into practice what you've heard. So, I hear you. So that's another way of saying I understand, and it's another way of saying I'll do it. Um, so that's not to say necessarily say God God did not hear or listened or know before he humbled himself, but he did what was asked of him, and that's why the angel came. I am come for thy words. But the interesting thing is also it's warfare, because he continues saying, but the prince of the king of Persia withstood me for 21 days. So we're not talking about the literal man, Prince of Persia. We're talking about the heavenly equivalent. It must be some kind of evil angel of Persia at the time. Um, just like the Archangel Michael is the angel of Israel. I believe every nation has their respective angels, but for the Persia, not so good. And then he says, but lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and remained there with the king of Persia. So yeah, okay. So that's all the best you need to hear for now. So the warfare, and I was talking to my friend about what I meditated on the words "I follow who art in heaven," and I've told her that, and she said, okay, she remembered seeing a interview like from an ex Satanist. As a Satanist, they were praying to basically distract Christians from praying or from God, and he sees that the ones that are chosen, okay, they could tell who's Christian and who's not, or who's not just not necessarily. You can't really tell if for the lukewarm Christians, because they're probably going to the same place, so there's no priority for them. But for the radical Christians and Satanists, that's according to the interview, and she's going to send me a link to that YouTube video once she finds it. I may put a link on the description if I find it, if I get it. Um, when Christians pray, there's a smoke that comes out and it goes up to heaven. It doesn't always reach him because of sin. He says, or because they don't have faith. They have small faith. Therefore, some prayers not reach him. Now that's what he said. I found that quite interesting because, in terms of the incense, the smoke that comes out of us when we pray and it goes all the way up, that's biblical. I've just showed you that's biblical. So I wonder, wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, actually, the Bible does say that. There are the few times that the Bible says, if do this and that, blah blah blah, God will not hear. He will not hear your prayer. So that's unless that's something God receives instantly, we repent. They'll just have a party as soon as we repent. So so tomorrow, hallowed be thy name. Now, John Bevere said something very good about that actually. But I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'll see if I get anything different from that. Hopefully I won't forget. Hallowed be thy name. So yes, tomorrow I'm working. Not looking forward to it because I'm doing this. Another thing. Something that has become my favourite part of the day. When I brush my teeth and when I go before I go to bed, when I brush my teeth again. Okay, this is very interesting. Okay, I have this toothpaste and I've been using it for probably a year now. Okay, now the thing is because I can only drink water throughout the day. Like, I mean, actually, I'm not finding it as difficult as last time I fasted for 10 days. But last time when I fasted for 10 days, it wasn't the hunger that was difficult. It was the fact that I just missed flavors. I just missed tasting things and enjoying things. My tongue was bored, and my tongue. It's like my tongue was speaking to me. It was my tongue that was complaining. But for some reason, I've got this toothpaste, which is called Euthymol. Yeah, Euthymol. It's an old traditional one. I almost finished it, so I've got to buy a new one. I forgot to do that earlier. And it's very kind of herby, very strong. And so when I brush my teeth, I'm like, oh, that's nice. It gives something to my tongue at least. And I've also got this mouthwash. This one that tastes good. Yes, also. Um, yeah, and kind of after when you spit it out, to kind of you don't have to rinse your mouth with water. It's kind of it feels like a layer of liquid in your mouth. So it's quite comfortable. I quite like it. So yes, I'm not getting any money from advertising them, by the way. Okay, I love this lifetime supply of those things. But yeah, so that's for today. So until next time, I love you and God bless.